boys and girls. Hi, boys and girls. It's Bored with Miss Reynolds, better off reading every day. And today I have two good ones for you. And the first one is called Vincent's Colors, Words and Pictures by Vincent van Gogh, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And the second one is Getting to Know the World's Greatest Artists, written and illustrated by Mike Vincent, and it is Van Gogh. Vincent's Colors. Vincent van Gogh was an artist who loved bright colors. He was born in the Netherlands, where the rain can make things seem dark and gloomy. When he grew up, he eventually moved to the south of France, where the sun is stronger and the colors brighter. Vincent wrote many letters to his brother Theo. In them, he often described his dynamic, colorful paintings. Here are a few of his paintings and what he said about them. A yellow sky with a yellow sun. A jug in squares of blue and white. A reddish cap and orange bricks. "12 flowers that are light on light." Trees gray-green with pink sky. Cypresses of a bottle green hue. Some very yellow buttercups. And all the ground is yellow too. Roses in a green vase. A window with a green shutter. A lady's clothes in black, black, black. Two chairs, the yellow of fresh butter. Leaves of silver turning to green. Stars sparkling greenish, yellow, white. A big bunch of violet irises. And in my head, a starry night. The end of Vincent's colors. And can you guess which one is my favorite in this book of Vincent van Gogh's? It would be And in My Head a Starry Night, this one. Because this one is actually my mask. Nice, right? And of course, as I am loving on my sunflowers, "12 flowers that are light on light." 12 flowers that are light on light. That's what I'm talking about. Beauty at its finest. Our second book is Van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was one of the most tragic artists ever who lived. Nothing ever seemed to go right for him, and he wasn't very happy. He never even smiled in his self-portraits. Van Gogh was born in Holland in 1853 and died in France in 1890. Unlike most artists, Van Gogh didn't decide to become a painter until he was grown up. He tried a lot of other things first. He worked in an art gallery selling paintings. He tried teaching. He worked in a bookstore, and he was a preacher like his dad. None of these things made him very happy. Then one day he decided to become an artist. Van Gogh always tried his best at whatever he did, so he went to different art schools to learn everything he could about drawing and painting. His early drawings were of the poor people he used to help when he was a preacher. There are certain things you can see in these paintings that show up later in his famous paintings, such as strong lines and shapes. You can see the feelings he had for everyday people. Van Gogh's first paintings were also of poor people he had been helping. In this painting, the family was so poor they had only a few potatoes to eat for dinner. They looked tired and not very happy. The colors in Van Gogh's early paintings are dark and sad. He wanted everyone to know how hard the lives of the poor people were. Van Gogh kept using dark colors until he discovered some very colorful Japanese artwork. He loved the bright colors and strong lines and shapes that he saw. Soon, Van Gogh's paintings started to look much more colorful. Look at the difference between the gloomy potato eaters and the painting above, which was done only a few years later. We know a lot about how Van Gogh felt and why he did certain things because he was always writing letters to his younger brother Theo. Theo always helped his brother. He encouraged him to paint and send him money when he could. Because Van Gogh was always sending and receiving letters, he got to know his postman pretty well. He painted pictures of him and used the postman's wife as a model in many of his paintings as well. In 1886, Vincent moved to Paris, France, to join Theo. Paris was the center of the art world then. Since Theo was in the business of buying and selling paintings, and Vincent wanted to be an artist, it seemed like a pretty good place to be. Theo introduced Vincent to a lot of painters while they lived in Paris. Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those paintings would become world famous artists someday. Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those painters would become world famous artists someday. A couple of years later, Vincent van Gogh decided to leave Paris and move to a small country town called Arles. Van Gogh thought Arles would be a great place for artists to get together to paint and talk about their different ideas. He tried very hard to get as many artists as he could to join him. The only one to try it out was Paul Gogh. Although he wasn't really crazy about the idea, it turned out to be a big mistake. Gogh didn't seem to like anything Van Gogh did in Arles. They argued a lot. Van Gogh probably decided to listen to Gogh about cleaning the place up because his bedroom looked pretty neat in this painting. Finally, after a very bad argument, Gogh decided to leave Van Gogh and return to Paris. Van Gogh didn't know what to do. He really wanted things to work out well with Gogh. Van Gogh had always had problems during his life with the way he felt. Sometimes he would get so angry and upset that no one could make him feel better. This time he became so angry and upset, he cut part of his ear. Van Gogh painted pictures of himself after this happened. It looked like he wished he hadn't done it. Vincent van Gogh never really got better after Gogh left. Sometimes he was too angry to paint, and sometimes he was too sad to paint. When he felt good, he painted better than ever. He made the stars in the starry night seem like they're really shining. The trees in this painting look like flames, and it feels like the whole picture is moving. In this painting, Van Gogh made the sun look really hot. You almost feel like you should put sunglasses on to look at it. Van Gogh usually put his paint on very thick. Sometimes he painted so fast he didn't even mix his colors. He used paint right out of the tube. Van Gogh used so much paint, he was always running out. Sometimes he stopped buying food in order to buy more paint. So he was hungry a lot of the time and he wasn't healthy. Hardly anyone was interested in Van Gogh's work while he was alive. He sold only a few drawings and maybe one or two paintings. People in the 1800s and 1890s just weren't used to the bright moving pictures that Van Gogh made. Today, things are different. People have learned how beautiful Vincent van Gogh's art is. Now his paintings are some of the most popular in the world. This may have been Van Gogh's last paintings. Some people think it shows how angry and upset he must have been feeling because he painted a scary sky, roads that led to a dark background, and crows that looked like bats. Soon after this painting was finished, Vincent van Gogh shot himself. He died 2 days later. Van Gogh made his paintings seem alive with color. His colors are so bright and beautiful you can almost smell the flowers he painted or feel the bright sun. His brush strokes give everything a feel of movement. Trees, stars, and people feel alive. Maybe more than any other artist, Van Gogh's feelings came out in his paintings. That's why Vincent van Gogh is one of the world's greatest artists. It's much better to see real Vincent van Gogh paintings than a picture of one. It's fun to see how thick he put his paint on, his brush strokes, and how bright his colors are. The pictures in this book come from the museum's list below. If none of them is close to you, maybe you can visit one where you are on vacation. Maybe you can visit one when you're on vacation. And that is the end of Van Gogh. Boys and girls, you know my favorite page has to be this one, where it says, Van Gogh's made his paintings seem alive with color. His colors are so bright and beautiful, you can almost smell the flowers he painted or feel the bright sun. It is Bored with Miss Reynolds, better off reading every day. I do not own the rights to any of these books that I have read to you, but I love storytelling, magic. And the magic of today's story is, I'm all about the sunflowers and Vincent van Gogh and his beautiful paintings and the way that they have made me feel over the years. And that's why I chose Starry Night as my mask of choice whenever I would be going into the city to do anything. Boys and girls, I hope that you are having a great day. I hope that sometimes you pick up a paintbrush and you paint. As you can see, it leads to great things, and you can put your feelings right into it. And someday, maybe someone will be reading and loving all about the work that you put down with your brush. I'll see you again really, really soon. And remember, everybody has a little bit of sun inside of them. Kind of like sunflowers and Vincent van Gogh and Bored with Miss Reynolds. I'll see you again really soon, boys and girls. Bye. The time changed, and you know what? The days are going to be longer, and that can only mean one thing: more and more fun and reading with Bored with Miss Reynolds and you.